Hey, it's Phil Bruce here, and in today's video, what I want to have a chat about is when things don't go to plan and when you can try to adapt and change those things to still allow you to have a successful, productive day. Because isn't it annoying, like when you've got something planned, so you think to yourself, right, I'm going to achieve this, 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 and this today. You've written it down or you've got it mentally, you've put it in your mind. And then through one thing or another, something happens and then you're not able to do one of the things or a few of the things that you'd got planned, that you'd got scheduled, that you thought, if I do it today, it's going to be successful, it's going to make me feel good. It can be so frustrating, and it can be one of those that if you feel like you've not done it, that it can have an effect on the rest of your day if you allow it to, and it can make you have what was going to be a good day into a not so good day, a frustrating day or a bad day. Now, what I do want to just briefly chat about and quickly chat about is these things happen in life. There's the unpredictability. There's something that always comes up. There's just something that seems to happen. You can't control everything. So it's about being able to control the controllables, and the things that you can't control, you've got to be able to learn to adapt, to be able to deal with it and be able to come up with other opportunities and options. So I'll give you an example, and I wrote about this in my weekly newsletter that is the official Phil Bruce newsletter. I was talking about on Friday, I'd got a plan for the day, which was going to be to go to the gym, to do a leg session, to do a one-to-one football coaching session with a client, then to come home and to record a YouTube video. I was going to then put that online before doing the other things in the day, including the newsletter and admin and all that stuff. Now, for one reason or another, I didn't manage to get the time to do my YouTube video on Friday, which I do apologise about because I try my best to get it twice a week at the moment. And I do realise that last week I only did it once a week on, I think it was the Tuesday I did last week. It was because, as I say, we've got in Stoke-on-Trent where I live, it is notorious for roadworks. And they don't just put roadworks in one place, they put it in the place that the diversion is sending you to as well. So it was absolute mayhem. So I ran out of time in order to do the video, because I had to do all the other stuff in the day. So that was frustrating, that was annoying. And when I don't get to do things, it can get to me and it can annoy me. So I had two options. So basically option one was, right, I haven't been able to do this, so I'm just basically going to toss off the rest of my day, and I'm going to think the rest of my day is going to be failure or frustration, or I've not achieved this and that because of what happened there with not being able to do the YouTube video and get my content out. Or option two is accept that it has happened, accept that I haven't been able to do the YouTube video, and think to myself, I can still make it productive, successful, and a decent day if I'm able to adapt it and do other things as well. So I took, luckily for me, and due to practice and due to getting the mentality and the mindset right, I took option two and made sure that I was going to still have a productive, a decent day. So what I did when I got home was I got some footballs that had come for me coaching. I'd got some equipment that had come. So I made sure that I pumped the footballs, got all the equipment sorted, booted them, made sure they were ready for future sessions. So I ticked that box. I then thought, do you know what? Because I've got the time, I'm going to read 20 pages of an autobiography, which is the Jordan Henderson book at the moment. I thought I'm going to fit in a bit more reading. So I did that again, personal development. I thought I'm going to listen to some clips off YouTube. I'm going to listen to some podcasts whilst I'm doing my my other work and other things. So I thought, right, I'm going to feed the mind. I then did my newsletter that I published, and as I say, I have to publish that once a week. I caught up with some admin in the afternoon, did a bit of my self-hypnosis as well, just to help me mentality, which I try to do pretty much most days. And then walked Eddie Dog, did a boxing session with Lorna, and then, did a bit more admin before I went to bed after. So I made sure that the frustration of not being able to record a YouTube video and being able to get the content out to you I made sure that I thought, you know what, it's happened. I could always next week, well, this week, I could always make sure I do the 2, or I could even try and fit in a 3rd if possible videos on that. If I don't, it's not the end of the world, but I've just got to make sure that the content I'm putting out is the best that I can do at the moment and make it relatable to you that's listening and helpful to you as well. And then I can think, well, okay, there's other parts and aspects of my work, my business, my life that I can work on and deal with and get into, make useful and make productive. So that's what I did. And it's kind of just learning that a bit more about going with the flow. Yes, I do advise, and a lot of people advise, and it is great advice to get a plan, a structure, a routine sorted within your day, your week, so on and so on. But it's also have that ability to realise that it's not always going to happen. It's not always going to go for you. And it's trying to come up with options. It's trying to come up with things that you can do to make sure that the plan that didn't happen doesn't affect the rest of your day, and you make the most of an opportunity that can come to you. So let's give another example. So say you were travelling somewhere and there was an accident on the road, or you got stuck, as I say, the Stoke-on-Trent roadworks, or you got stuck in anything. What you could do instead of getting frustrated, I know you would be frustrated, but whilst you're frustrated, or to try and help you, you could think, do you know what? I'm not moving anywhere at the moment. I could use my car or bus or train or whatever you're on as a bit of an opportunity to make it a home library. So I could put a podcast on, I could listen to it on YouTube, Audible, something that's going to help me with my work, my personal life, my career, my finances, whatever it is. And you can think, right, I'm going to utilise, so say I'm stuck in it for an hour, right, I'm going to make sure it's an hour of something productive, something that's going to help me that I probably wasn't going to be able to do before because I couldn't fit it in with my schedule. It could be, as I say, if you've got an injury, you pick up an injury. Again, you could work different parts of the body. It could be that, again, you work on the mental side of your stuff instead or as well. If you are going to the gym, say you want to do a chest session, chest, shoulders and back, but you were running out of time, or you know something had happened that reduces your time, you could always do a reduced session, but still get some quality in there. You could change the muscle groups or the kind of workout, the type of workout, so it's a quicker workout, and just reschedule it for another day. You know, it's not a case of just allowing it to make sure that you're not doing a workout at all, or you're not doing something at all. So it's just that case of, if something doesn't go to plan, yes, you will, you know, you're human, you will have that moment where it's frustrating, it's annoying, it gets under your skin, it gets on your nerves. It's then thinking, well, what can I learn from it? What can I do that's still going to benefit me? He's trying to be calm, he's trying to be cool, collected, and think, right, okay, I could do X, Y, and Z as well. Or if you even just do one thing, I could do that as well. And that's going to help me moving forward. It's going to put me on the right path. It's going to still allow me to tick the box. It's still going to allow me to make progress, to carry on in that way. So it's just, as I say, getting that mentality right and thinking, yes, something's not happened, something's not gone to plan. Again, you could have made a mistake. You know, you've tried to do something. Again, let's use sports performance. So another example for me, I played a football match on Saturday. I'm a goalkeeper. We won 3-2. I made an obvious mistake for the first goal. It was totally my fault. So I've got two ways of dealing with it and adapting with it. It's either I allow that mistake for the first goal to affect me for the rest of the game, which could cause me to get frustrated, to not play well. It could negatively impact the result. Or I could think, do you know what? The mistake's gone. Everyone makes them. It's going to give me that mental strength now if I choose to deal with it in the right way, to show that I can come back, I can and put a decent performance in and come back stronger. It's also going to show people, as I say, your players, your opposition, the supporters, that mistakes will not affect me. It'll just, it's one of these things to learn from, and it just happens in life, and you just move on. And it also allows, if you know, with that mistake, what could I have done differently? So for example, with me, it was basically a cross that is an awkward angle. I've tried to catch it into my chest. It's hit my chest, come out, and they've scored. What I could have probably done is taken a step, try and catch it a little bit higher, so I've got a bit more control on it So it's hitting my hand rather than hitting my chest. So, you know, there are examples and there's ways to deal with everything. So it's just putting it into perspective that we can't expect everything to go to plan. Every day is going to work out well. But we can't also use that as an excuse to allow us to have a bad day, to allow us to let that negative thing or that thing that's not happened for us negatively affect the rest of our day and make us have a bad day. That's on us to choose how we're going to deal with it and adapt to it. So I hope you found that video useful. I hope you found the hints, tips and advice useful. And it's just working on that mentality to allow us to think, what can we do to still allow us to have a decent day? What actions can we take? And most importantly, taking those actions. So yeah, hope you found that useful. Hope you've had a good start to the week so far. Sending my love and best wishes as always. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. So until then, have a good one. Sending my love. Bye for now.